So what we do, a lot of people mix us up as dog groomers and lawyers do, or CPAs, but we do residential service, repair, replace, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and drain repair and drain replacement. So we'll replace your furnaces, air conditioners, we'll fix them, we'll maintain them. Same thing with all your plumbing system as well. I was basically born into it. My grandfather was a plumber, my dad was a plumber, and then went to school for the building trades up at Michigan State. And so I was kind of the oldest in the family. So Dad would take me away and take me to work with him sometimes during the day, and that's how I got into the family business. My dad sold the business in the late 90s, and kind of was out of the business for a little bit, and just realized it's really what I love to do. And that's when we bought Thornton and Grooms, and it's kind of been a fun ride ever since.
This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We got Erica Harper in this morning.
Good morning.
Joining us now is Matt Bergstrom from Thornton and Grooms. How you doing?
Good morning. Great.
Good to have you here, right?
Excited to be here.
So, Matt, introduce yourself to the Hire It Done audience. Tell everyone a little bit about you. I mean, I've known you forever, but tell the listeners what you do.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time, Adam, back in the construction days. But I own a company called Thornton and Grooms with two other guys, and we do plumbing, heating, air conditioning, drains, maintenance, repair, all residential, all service and replacement. So don't get in the new construction world. Don't get into the heavy remodel world. That's
plug, drain.
Yep.
You're the guys.
Plug, drain, broken furnaces. We've seen a lot of those lately.
How did you get started in the business?
Oh, I was born into it. Grandfather was a plumber. Dad was a plumber. Dad went to the Michigan State construction program, took over the business from Grandpa, and I think he just kind of took me away from Mom during the days to give her a break as she took care of my brother and sister. So.
Interesting. So he went to the construction management program?
He
Michigan
did,
State?
yeah.
That's got to be in the early 70s?
Yep.
I went in the 90s.
Yeah.
I have the degree. I went to construction management there.
Yeah, so he loved it. He went there, and then he went to the train company after that, the heating and air conditioning side of things.
How about that?
And that's kind of how the plumbing side picked up the heating and air side.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Nice to know. So how long have you had Thornton and Grooms?
We bought Thornton and Grooms in 2004. My dad sold Bergstrom plumbing, heating, and air conditioning back in the 90s to a company that came through and was buying up companies. And
the roll-up.
Yeah, the roll-up, the famous roll-up. So learned a lot. Wouldn't take it away, but at the same time, wish still had the family business in some ways too. So
side note.
Yeah.
When that roll-up happened, I remember because those same guys from that Wall Street, whatever that. The venture guys, wanted to do that with home improvement.
Okay.
And they met with me, and they were using that model.
Sure.
And I think there was, what was it, Andy's statewide? There was a couple other.
Yeah, Andy's. Flame went with the utility.
Yeah, there was a couple of ways that.
Yeah, there was utility, and there was kind of venture capital.
And so, but then we were late, because it was home improvement. So things started crumbling. And some of those roll-ups because they didn't really think it through all the way.
Yeah.
And as you know, it didn't last.
Yeah, those roll-ups looked great on paper.
Right.
But you just had so many entrepreneurs.
Contractors.
So it's really hard to put a process in across the.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this I was thinking about that this morning, Adam. Great question. Probably since I was 15, 16. So my dad.
It's in your blood.
My dad started out, had a service business, but the bigger part of the business was retail, selling plumbing and heating repair products over the counter. This was days before Home Depot, before Lowe's was here. So you'd go to your local hardware or specialty and pick that stuff up. So that's I kind of learned it from sitting on the other side of the counter.
Right.
Not necessarily in the customer.
Do you remember the number one part people would come in and ask for all the time on a regular basis?
Oh, all the time. It was how to fix your faucet. It was the stems and washers and O-rings for your faucet.
What about a toilet that always runs? The phantom flush they call it. Remember back in the day?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're getting away from that a little bit and back to it in some ways, but yeah, so that the toilet flapper or the fill valve.
You're in the middle of the night, you hear the toilet flush. You're like, what's going on?
Yes.
And every hour you'd hear that.
Yep.
So that's a sign of, and that's a huge water waste.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it was really interesting. I just put a one of those valves that automatically shuts the water off in your
Okay.
home if it senses a leak.
Oh,
but
wow.
one of the cool things that it also does is it tests every so often if there's water running in the home. So every day you can take a look at it and you can see how many gallons of water you used.
So what brand did you put in?
I put in a brand called Finn.
Okay.
And Finn is made by the Uponor folks who make a lot of the.
And it's digital,
things.
and it connects to your Wi-Fi, and it notifies you. And
Yeah, right to my phone. Super cool.
So that's fun. I want to look at that product because we were looking at a product by Growy
Okay.
that had the little hockey pucks that go underneath and
Yep.
connected to the main
Yes.
water line.
Yes.
It's very similar, I think.
Probably the same concept. It detects a surge of water, then it finds if
Correct. Yeah, and there's so many different products out there, and it's just trying to figure out the one that's easiest to use.
Sure.
And, so this was just one that I had grabbed and said throw at my house. There's a couple others out there that we deal with as well, but it's the number one thing that damages your house is water damage. So if you can catch it in some way, shape,
Quickly.
or form before it happens, yes.
So I wonder when the insurance companies will give you a discount when you put that product in.
So some of the bigger insurance companies are right now, like Chubb.
yeah.
So
I have
which,
Chubb.
Yeah, which generally insures some of the or a lot of the homes around the area, and they are given a discount right now. So you might want to check with them.
I didn't even know that. I'm absolutely going to call them.
Yeah.
So you do heating and cooling and plumbing.
Correct.
Is it pretty equal, 50-50, or are you more plumbing, more heating, cooling? What's just, the weight of the business?
They're pretty equal, 50-50. Plumbing has more calls.
Sure.
Just because they're lower dollar typically, where but HVAC has a few more dollars because you're talking the big boxes, the furnaces and the air conditioners going in.
If someone thinks they want a new furnace, is now the time to go? Is there like a better time of year to buy something like that?
I mean, 90% of folks buy it when I have to have it.
Right. You don't
So
play,
it's
honey, I'm tired. Let's get a new furnace. Not happening.
So we do a lot of maintenance, which means we visit folks every year and just start checking things to make sure things are all right. So a lot of those folks, you'll start talking about it, and they'll do a proactive replacement. But best time to do anything is shoulder seasons or off seasons in just about any industry. That's when you'll get the best pricing.
Okay. And is there any brand that you specifically like better than others, or you will do it any?
All the brands are great out there. Our mainstay and has been for the last few years is Lennox.
Okay.
They're just a great partner
Sure.
to work with, and I think product is a great piece. But it's just like when you go to buy your car, you buy a car from folks who take care of you. And
True. And so you can buy the best furnace if it's not installed properly. It's
Correct.
worthless, right?
Correct.
And that's my always thing. I always say, the product is great, and do your research, folks. However, I would rather you find the right contractor.
Yes.
And have the contractor that you're comfortable with say to you, okay, here's why I'm using the Lennox blah, 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 blah model, right?
Yes.
And here's the reasons why. I put in thousands of these. Callbacks are almost nil, and it saves energy, and it's bulletproof. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's the best way, you think?
It is, and you really got to get into the home to take a look at it because every single home is different.
Well, would you say, like, across manufacturers, the products are, I'm sure there's some that have advantages over others, but ultimately they're very similar in performance as long as they're installed properly?
They are. There's mandates out there from the electrical side, mandates out there from the gas side, from AGA and things. Make sure that everything meets under specific standards.
How important is it to tune up your furnace on a regular basis? Maintenance.
Oh, super important. It's just like taking care of your car. If you maintain it, it's going to last longer.
So let me ask, 95% furnace someone got like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And they don't change the filter. It's plugged. That furnace is now working at 50%, probably. It cuts the efficiency down tremendously.
Yeah,
right?
it's so hard to tell what the rest of the system is and whether it was designed and put together properly. But yeah, you're basically choking that furnace is what you're doing. Is
Right.
Imagine putting something over your mouth and trying to breathe, and the thicker and thicker that piece is you're putting over your mouth is what your furnace is trying to do.
Okay.
So as it gets plugged more with dirt, that furnace filters need to be replaced as much as every month for some of the
Depending on the
some of the
thickness.
some of the not very thick ones to up to about a year for some of the really sophisticated.
Is air
filters.
quality becoming an issue for homeowners who are buying and looking into furnace and replacements?
Oh gosh, air quality is huge as we put in more energy efficient windows, more energy efficient insulation.
Right, tighter houses,
tighten our houses
makeup
up.
air is that important.
Oh gosh, where it used to makeup air just came in from around the cracks and crevices in the house.
Right.
And as we seal all those up, we don't get makeup air anymore, and that's why our houses start to feel stale. And we're, every year we get so excited to open up the windows, but we can actually get our homes a little bit fresh air by bringing in some makeup air.
I love that. What's the number if someone wants to get a hold of Thornton and Grooms?
248-644-7810.
And you guys are got plumbing ready to go, furnace tune-ups, whatever people need.
Yeah, we are there today for you.
Website?
So, www.thorntonandgrooms.com.
Matt, thanks for coming in.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
I'm Adam Helfman, and you're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.